Okay, so it's that time again. Time to start thinking about your lawn. Now, many of us, we started off the spring, the grass didn't look that great. We hit it with some crabgrass preventative. If you watch my other videos, you hit them with a lime. And now it's actually been a very good year for spring for lawns. Slow started, but the grass liked it. Now it's time to make sure that the grass is protected to go into the summer heat. And that means two things. That means protecting it from grubs and giving it a shot of fertilizer now while we still have moisture. So many of the things that we're looking at when it comes to lawns is making sure that you're giving fertilizer on a regular basis every 6 to 8 weeks. So if you fertilized 3 or 4 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, it's too late. Let it go. If you have irrigation, you can fertilize all summer long. But what we do is we start around April, May. We fertilize the lawns, we hit them with lime, then we wait 6 to 8 weeks. Now it's time for that second application. The issue is, what do you apply for products? So for us, I've acknowledged that crabgrass has just been horrible. In over 20 years, I would get customers coming in saying, I've got this crabgrass, I'm getting late blooming crabgrass. I'm like, you're not getting late blooming crabgrass. There's only one type of crabgrass. The difference is most people are programmed that the fertilizer said, put this down in March and April, and then all of a sudden they're not getting crabgrass till around 4th of July or August. That's because crabgrass likes it hot. And so what I've been finding is all this up, down temperature changes that we get all spring here in New England is the fact that if you put down a product in late March, by the time July and August comes around, when it actually gets hot enough for crabgrass to germinate, it's already worn off. And so customers start thinking that it's late blooming crabgrass, and it's not. The difference was the crabgrass preventative you put down in the spring wore off before the crabgrass actually started ramping up and growing. And because here in New England, especially if we're out near the water, many times we're not hitting 80 degrees on a regular basis until almost 4th of July. So what we recommend doing is when you've done your second fertilizer application for the year, which is now late May, early June, we hit it with the crabgrass preventative again. So forget the marketing, forget the fact that the package said apply it in the spring, forget the fact that it may say stage 1 out of a 4-step program. We do step 1, or your crabgrass control and fertilizer combination, twice. So we did it 6 to 8 weeks ago, now we're doing it again. That's going to give us extended control into the summer months to prevent weeds. We're big into preventing weeds, especially crabgrass, because if not, you're going to waste a ton of chemicals trying to go back in the summer heat when the grass absolutely does not want chemicals put on it to try to get rid of it. So that's key. Right around now, do your step 1 again for a second time, and then that's it. We won't touch it again for the rest of the season unless we have irrigation. If a customer has irrigation, we'll fertilize every 6 to 8 weeks. The grass wants it. It keeps it looking good. But at the same time, if we don't, we're giving it now. Grass is going to get one big oomph. We've got beautiful weather now, and it's going to flush out again before it starts dealing with the summer drought. Once the heat really starts kicking in and the rain shuts off, we don't touch a thing. We let the grass go dormant, comes back looking even better in the fall. Now, the next thing is grub control. The biggest thing with grub control is the fact that grubs are those nasty little critters that get down in your soil. Customers are coming in saying they're seeing grubs in their lawn, they're seeing grubs in their flower bed, and they want to hit a contact grub killer to kill the grubs that are there. Don't waste your money, don't waste the chemicals, the environment doesn't need it. The grubs that are in your soil now are going to be leaving shortly. So any day now, they're going to start turning into a cocoon, and then they're going to emerge as beetles. So any of those little June beetles or beetles that you'll start noticing as summer kicks in on your screen porch or just hanging around your lights at night, almost all those beetles spent 3/4 of their life in the ground as a grub, eating your grass, eating the roots of your flowers. Most of them are not a problem. It's the ones that attack our lawns that can really infest the lawn pretty bad. But they're not doing damage now. They're just fat grubs. They're nibbling away a little bit to just maintain the body weight, but they're waiting to go in to turn into a beetle. Don't bother with them. What we're doing now is putting down a preventative. You want a preventative grub control to go down now so that it's in the grass. The grass is going to suck up that chemical, and it's only going to kill the insects that are eating the grass. And what that enables us to do is we can use a small amount of chemical now in the summer months to prevent a problem later, because those little baby grubs are they're gonna turn into beetles. July, August, they're flying around, laying their eggs all over the place. And then sometime in August, September, those baby grubs are gonna start to hatch. If we got the grub preventative in the soil in the spring, late spring, mid-June, then that chemical will still be active. It'll be inside the grass, and it's only gonna kill what's physically trying to munch on your grass. And if that's the case, we can kill baby grubs as soon as they emerge with a small amount of chemical to avoid a problem later in the season. And again, that is key. There's nothing worse than getting that phone call from a customer whose lawn looks like it was rototilled, and it looked beautiful one day, and the skunks were out there, and the crows were out there, and everything got rototilled seems like overnight. And really all they had to do was put down a small preventative in the summertime. Now, can you put it down later? Yes, you could put down grub control probably all the way into mid-July. The problem is we may not be getting rain. And so you can put a grub control down, but if that doesn't get watered into your grass, it's not gonna do any good. So in my experience, late May, early June is we're still reliably getting some rain. We never know when it's gonna shut off for summer, but we are getting some rain. So if we do it now, it'll fertilize, we'll fertilize the grass, we'll give it a good dose of grub preventative, and let it do its thing for the rest of the season. So that's it for right now, late spring. This is what we're doing, and hope that helps. You can spray, you can do this all at once. You can put your preventative grub controls, you can put a crabgrass control and fertilizer, and spot spray for weeds. You want to zap them back now. If there is any patches of weeds that are growing, try to get them now, because once that grass starts going dormant, the weed is probably going to continue to grow, but now it has no competition with the grass. So get out there, spray the weeds now, control them now while we have plenty of moisture around. Be in much better shape come fall, because fall is renovation time. And we'll talk about that later on as the season kicks in. But everything we're doing in these springs is getting ready to fix our lawn in the fall. Hope that helps. Take care.